Hey folks, it's the Red, and welcome back to the Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex No Damage run. Next up, he sells seashells for Shenanigans. Well, this type of level should look familiar to anyone who's ever played Crash 3 before. Yeah, we're basically dealing with the same type of underwater levels that we had from that game, and indeed, they operate pretty much the same way. You press the jump button and you can swim faster, and then you can also spin into the various boxes and wildlife you encounter along the way. I do find that these underwater levels are a bit harder than the ones in Crash 3, and these mines are a large part of why I feel that way. They're always suspended above where Crash is going to be swimming through, and then they don't drop until you get close to them, so they're very similar to thwomps, but the thing about them is they don't start falling until you get close to them, and often because they're always off camera, you don't notice them until they're already falling towards you, and by then they're doing it quite quickly, so avoiding them is very difficult if you don't know that they're there. For that reason, they often feel like kind of gotcha traps, and I don't really like them all that much. I can kind of understand why folks wouldn't like the underwater levels of this game for that reason. I mean, I gotta say, I really like the way that they're handled here. See how we got all this seaweed in front of us? Oh, look, a mine's falling towards us. Oh, look, another one! You can't really notice them all that well against this background, especially with all this going on in the foreground. Don't follow these wumpas, by the way. That's just gonna make it more likely that you'll get hit by that mine. Now, these boxes here, these could be kind of risky ones to go for because of the nitro placement. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, be very careful when you go spinning those, and try not to be too low that you wind up hitting the nitro instead. And then, of course, make sure you're getting all the boxes in these tubes, but they're not too hard to notice. Ooh, very nice background, very colorful. I like the coral reefs here. Give the game some credit, it does look nice at times. Anyway, just touch one of these TNTs from above to set off the explosives, and so you can pass through. Yeah, I probably wouldn't mind these underwater levels too much if not for the spamminess of the mines that you encounter. Make sure you're going through here very quickly because, yeah, there's a mine that's ready to drop down on your head. And then as we come out of this pipe, suddenly we're driving a submarine. You can press the spin button to shoot torpedoes straight forward, or you can press the jump button to drop a depth charge to attack anything below you. So, this is kind of an interesting thing. Of course, being in a submarine, that means you now have a bigger hitbox, so those mines just became a little more deadly, so definitely watch out for that. Take you out, and here's our third Aku Aku crate, which means now we are invincible, so we're just going to wait this thing out. Once again, we are playing with the no Aku Aku rule, which forbids the use of invincibility at any point in the stage. It's not much of a no damage challenge if you could just invincibility right through it, although I do find it interesting that you can be invincible in these underwater levels. You couldn't do that in Crash 3, so I appreciate that at least. I tend to go through this part kind of slowly to make sure I don't get surprise mined. It's happened a few times already, I'm sure you'll see it in the outtakes, like that one right there. That's why I don't want to really go speeding through here, but here we go. But you see what I mean? There are so many mines that you need to watch out for in this level that you really have to just be very careful as you move forward. Okay, now we're heading into a tube, so we're going to make our way down here, taking out boxes as we go down, but don't go down too fast because, yeah, there's nitro that you're going to need to drop a depth charge on so that you can get past here. Just another gotcha moment that you'll need to watch out for. There's a couple of mines over there, but they are guarding literally nothing over there, so there is no reason to go in that direction. Don't do it. Yeah, the torpedo can actually hit Wumpa Fruit, and that can obstruct your fire, so watch out for that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to hit this to make some boxes appear down below, and then we drop a depth charge on the nitro, which sets off those boxes. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing out of the way. Careful as you move forward here. Take out these nitros, and that'll hit the boxes off to the side and make two more one-ups appear right here. That's an interesting little puzzle, but I feel like they should have done a little more with it. Then again, we are at level 7, so maybe it's appropriate not to have something too complex. Drop another depth charge here and set off all the explosives so that you can pass through. Kind of funny seeing all the nitro creating a wall like that. Oh, and can you see the crystal here? Kind of blends in until it turns green like that, then it sticks right out. And, yeah, just take this part kind of slow, wait for the mines to drop. Thankfully, these ones aren't going to surprise us, because we could see them right there on the camera. I could just go up there and shoot them, but I didn't feel like it. But, yeah, we got the crystal now, so we're getting pretty close to the end now. Just try not to let any of this stray wildlife catch you by surprise. And we'll go ahead and set off all the nitros. Swim right through the reef, and there's our clear gem. We are now done here, so here's the end of the level. And that was Seashell Shenanigans. Let me tell ya, this level was kind of a pain in the butt, simply because of all the mines that you need to watch out for, which, again, you can't see them coming, and indeed, there's a lot of fish, in fact, that can just suddenly start swimming out at you. There's a lot of surprises that can come at you in these underwater levels, so yeah, plenty of outtakes to share here. We'll check those out, and be sure to join us next time as we finally give Coco some screen time in Banzai Bonsai. See you then! Yes, the underwater levels are going to be harder, apparently. So it's often very difficult to notice when they're... I think I just didn't spin fast enough. Whoopsie! But yeah, the mines, they can be a bit of a thing here, case in point, into the camera, and they don't fall until you get very close to them as you... Wow, you are a pest! But I do feel like these underwater levels are going to be a good bit harder and... Nitros, I guess, are going to be part of the problem. So that's kind of cool, I suppose. I couldn't see it coming because of this red barrier that was in the way. Ugh, this camera. Quite often. It's... like that one! How could I have possibly dodged it? But that's kind of interesting, is that you can turn... these levels... What did I even hit? Whatever it was behind this red thing. Really have to commend the way they're used in this section coming up here. And we're not going to see it yet. Time trials once we have a certain ability later. I appreciate it for that. Probably should have just kept going forward. And also be careful as you... Be more careful than I was. These underwater levels are a bit harder than the ones in Crash 3, and that's a large part of why. Especially considering the fact that they are so numerous throughout this level. Wow, he just wanted to reach out and touch someone. So to that end, I can kind of understand why some folks would... What even was that?